What's up, folks? Welcome back to Final Notice Media.
Boom.
This is Core.
K-Money.
Oh, yeah. And we just got back from watching The Predator, 2018 Predator. How was your first impressions of Predator after watching it?
After watching it, super happy with everything. I was going mostly for the special effects. Wasn't really expecting a hardcore storyline. I just want to see what the update Predator looked like. Did not disappoint at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks pretty kick-ass.
Yep, we got to see some pretty awesome technology from the Predators that we haven't seen in previous movies, and then also a cool little Easter egg that you immediately pointed out, the spear.
Yes.
Yep.
From Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
With the alien head shield on the other arm. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so we got some Easter eggs from the old movies, and I was actually surprised that they included, Alien versus Predator, because those movies didn't get very good recognition from the audiences. But it was, it's part of the mythology. I'm glad that they went ahead and included it. We'll do a little off the cusp here. What were two things that you liked and two things that you didn't like about the movie?
Two things that I liked. For starters, the intelligence of the Predators was a lot better than the original when they first showed them. Hell of a lot smarter. Also had a little bit more swag. How they walked, how they held themselves, kind of like a badass football player or something would do.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Spit on the ground when they're walking away. They're all pissed off. Second thing is they didn't really show their mask as much. They always had the mask off in the previous movies. I noticed that most of the time they have their mask off, which is cool. They can rock their crazy looking jaws and face and dreads and show all that off.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the masks. Let's see. We have the technology now that we can go the full mandible face and all that good stuff. And even the Super Predator, I believe, is what they called it. He didn't look half bad either. It was like completely CGI, which I wish it wasn't completely CGI.
Yeah.
I wish there was a little puppetry to it. But I mean, there was only like two scenes where they did a little close up of his face, and I was like, "Aw."
Super CGI.
Yeah, but other than that, it looked great. And like you said, dude, I didn't think about that before, but they had super swagger. Like they were badass and they knew it in this movie, which was pretty cool. Like we haven't seen, like in the beginning of the very beginning of the movie, non-spoiler so far, when he wakes up, he slams that guy on the table and then he jacks up some other fools. And as he's walking away, he just slices the guy's face with his claws.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this guy's bad.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, no, I'm bad. Check it.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
And bit somebody with his jaws. Which was
it was the first time we got to see that too, right in the beginning, and there was a couple of bites in there. Yeah, I was like,
never done a bite.
Predators are biting people.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, that was different. That was very different.
And then probably wondering, what's the Ultra Predator? What's all that about?
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and jump on that. We can't leave him hanging for too long.
Yeah, we'll get into the Ultra Predator once we get into the spoilers of it, because we have there's some good stuff with that.
Just leave that as a teaser.
So what are some things that because it was in the trailer. Why not?
Okay.
So what were two things that you didn't like so much about it, or might be little critiques?
Didn't like. One thing that was really annoying was the son and the autism or whatever they tried to give him to justify his genius or whatever. Was kind of awkward the way they kind of forced it with his little motions and stuff that he did.
Yes.
That was kind of awkward. They didn't really have to do that, I don't think. And then a second thing would be the ending, like we talked about. I'm glad they didn't leave it on a cliffhanger, and they showed us, but just didn't fill in, and like those empty plot holes, like we talked about too.
Yeah.
Those were bad.
There's a lot of empty plot holes in this.
Those were bad.
Yeah. So let's see. So two things that I liked about the movie was the technology. The technology was really cool. Like we said, I liked that a lot, and the pacing of the movie was pretty damn good. I was surprised. There were very few points where I starting to get bored with it. Like I enjoyed the movie all the way through. And like at least it kept my attention. I will retract that I enjoyed the movie all the way through, but it kept my attention all the way through, which as long as you can keep my attention, I'm happy.
Yep.
The plot falls apart extremely quickly once you start dissecting it. So that's kind of like a disappointment. And especially with Predators, man, because like both Predators, like the one from '87 and the one from '97, I believe, they were both super straightforward stories. Like they almost had no plot at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we're in this jungle, we're doing a search and rescue mission. Oh, turns out we got betrayed, and now we're getting hunted, and we got to survive, and that's it. Like there's no other plot. And then same with Predator 2, to be honest. You know, they're having a drug war, and it's super hot, and all of a sudden this Predator comes out and starts jacking people up, and then it sees Danny Glover, and he's a bad, starts hunting him. They got to figure that out, and there's some twists and turns around the way. Both those are great movies, but this had a lot. Like there was a lot going on that I didn't expect there to be. I'm not just saying all of it was necessarily bad, but it was just for like the pacing of a Predator movie, it seemed like it was a lot too much.
Yeah.
I think it was too funny for me. And we talked about this a little bit when we got out. It was like very few times did the jokes not land. I laughed a lot. So I'm not complaining about the jokes that were being told. It was just the amount of humor. It just seemed out of place to me. Like this isn't Guardians of the Galaxy. This isn't Deadpool. And I feel like they were trying to kind of do that vibe within it. I was like, this is a Predator movie, man. Like we're supposed to be like, oh shit, and we're supposed to be scared. And it just it broke tension. They broke tension a lot. But a lot of it was really, really funny. So I have a hard time like saying how much of a complaint it is, other than it didn't feel like a Predator movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so what do you think on however scoring system that you would like to score it? How would you score this movie?
Well, just as a movie, as an individual, not coming off all the other Predators that we've seen before.
Sure.
Just if you've never seen Predator before and you go see it, just dry, zero knowledge, I would give it solid 8, I think.
No kidding. Nice.
Action packed, didn't leave you hanging.
Yeah.
Brought it, stepped it up while in the movie. Another cool thing that I liked was their fighting style. They've always been like just really big, like almost like wrestlers. Like they would just throw each other around.
Sure.
This one had a lot more swag. Remember the beginning when he's walking out and he grabs the gun?
It was badass. Yeah,
I was people with the gun.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised that in the beginning of the movie that he actually picks up a gun and starts shooting people with an MP5. I was like, I'm not upset about this. Like that was pretty awesome. They took away his gear. He used whatever he had to survive. Like I was like, that was pretty awesome.
Grabbed the guy and took the shots.
Yep, that was cool.
Like we said with the intelligence.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with my ranking system, I'll go through it real quick. You know, a fail would be I'm not ever going to touch this movie again. I'm not going to recommend it. A D would be, well, I saw it in theaters. I'm not as happy that I saw it in theaters. I would have rather waited till Netflix, and that's the only way I'd ever watch this movie. A C is, okay, I saw this movie. I'm okay that I saw it in theater. And if I think you would like this movie, I'd recommend to go see it in theater. And I'm going to buy it, but I'm going to wait to buy it until it's like $10 on Blu-ray. And then a B is, I'm super happy I saw it in theaters. I might see it again. And I'm going to buy it when it comes out, but not right away. And then an A is, I loved it. I'm going to go see it a couple of times. I'm going to buy the DVD, or I'm going to buy the Blu-ray right when it comes out. I loved it. Going to watch it multiple times at home and get my $25 Blu-ray worth time. So that's how I go through the movie. So I would give it a C. I liked it. I'm not upset that I saw it in theaters. But I wouldn't go out and buy it right away. I'll wait till it hits around the $10 to $15 range on a Blu-ray before I pick it up. But yeah, I'm not upset that I saw it in theaters. I'm glad we saw it in theaters because if it would have been like I'll wait till Netflix to watch it. It had an epic kind of feeling to it. Yeah. So it was something that definitely should be seen in theaters, so you can get that experience if you're a moviegoer and you like feeling that experience.
I just thought it was going to be a remake, a complete overhaul remake.
I was worried about that.
That would have been ugly.
Yeah, I was, because I know my expectations were low, and you were like, I just want to see the new effects, and if the new effects are good, I'll be happy. And that was one of my worries too. I'm like, I think they're just going to remake this, kind of like how they did Predators, like back in like 2015, where it's basically just like a soft reboot.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was like, I liked it. I like Predator. Why not? I'm glad I went and saw it. Yeah. I bought it. But I wasn't as happy with it as I was with this because it wasn't a retelling. You know, they're not reskinning the movie and you're getting the same thing. It's moving along. So, and within moving along, we're gonna go ahead and spoiler section this bad boy, and we're gonna spoil some of these good parts of the movie right now. So that fucking super predator though was badass, man.
Especially how he made his presence known.
Yeah.
First, right off the bat.
Yeah, he wasn't playing, and he had super swag. Like that guy was. More so. Yeah, he was like how a lion walks, how they know they're bad and their shoulders move, and that's the impression that I got from him when he was walking around.
That was way cool.
Yeah, and so do you remember how the super predator came to be in the movie? Yeah, go ahead and explain that part out because I liked that. I thought that was pretty cool.
All of a sudden, boom! This giant thing crashes through the window. Grabs the predator like he's a rag doll, yanks him out the window. Didn't expect that to come at all.
Yeah.
So everybody's thinking, what the hell is that? What's going on? And then he presents himself. No mask, no anything, no gear, no armor.
Yeah, everything.
No weapons.
Everything was bio. Like I was like, oh, this is super cool. So all the technology was all built into him.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, but like you said, it wasn't. It was just built into who he was. They were genetically modifying their DNA to just evolve and become bigger and badder. Yeah, I was like, oh, I dig this. Yeah.
He had like a solid 4 or 5 feet on the basic predator.
Yeah, and dude, when one of the main characters went up to fight him, he like came up to his waist. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, this is not even close to being a fair fight.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty menacing to say the least.
I liked it.
Yeah, big time.
And he was smarter. I like how they kept zooming in on his face and his eyes.
Yeah, you could tell he was intelligent.
See his, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Super. That's why they call him the super predator.
Super predator.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
And I liked the jokes when they were like, "Oh, he's a predator," and then Olivia Munn was like, "Well, what you're explaining is a predator. It's a hunter." He's like, "Well, we took a poll, and predator is pretty badass." And so that's what we're going with, right? Yeah. And then the group of people are like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Fucking right." And they said it like 2 or 3 times throughout the movie. I was like, I like how they're having fun with it.
They must have had somebody say something or something.
Yeah, they were having
to annoy them, so they're making that straight in the film.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was fun.
In a fun way.
And I didn't mind the ragtag psycho overly funny group that badly because we're not going to get the same thing. I don't want the same thing.
I know. That's what
I don't want the big group of badasses that like we've seen that. We've seen that.
Builders.
We've seen that already 5 times now. We've seen it.
Yeah.
And so it was cool that we got this group of like mentally just challenged people that are literally psychos. They're schizos, and they're all in there for military crimes. And I was like, hey, you know what? I don't mind this. Like, it's not what I'm used to, but I don't want to keep seeing what I'm used to over and over again. And I also liked a lot how about in the movie where I was like, all right, I really wish they'd start killing some of these guys. About 15 minutes after I thought that, they start killing these guys. And I was like, oh, hello.
Quick.
Like, I thought they were going to, like, it seemed like it was going to be like a happy ending type deal. And I was like, oh, dude, like, if they go through this movie and don't kill any of these ragtag group of guys, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then boom, boom, boom. Like, I was like, oh, they're killing them quickly now.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. And, how you said about his autistic son, I didn't like, it didn't make sense. He wasn't autistic enough at all. No, like, if he was on the spectrum, he was, like, at the very, very high end of the spectrum completely.
Yeah.
Like, he had very little tics. Like, the dude with Tourette's had more tics than the kid with autism.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like they just threw that in there as, like, a plot hole. Like, just make the kid a genius. And say he has some chromosomal trait that the predators are after, if that's what you want to do.
Yep.
But Olivia Munn had that line in there where she was like, some people think autism is the next step in evolution. And so that's why they went through that. Like, you could totally tell, like, that was a complete throwaway line. And the only reason it was in there was to try to make this plot make sense for the twist at the end when they were like, oh, he's not after you, he's after your son.
Yep.
But then that didn't make sense because over the translator, the ultimate predator said there's only one true warrior among you. And you're telling me the kid with
Unless it was
autism,
Mac.
the 7-year-old kid with autism is the one true warrior out of all these army guys and special forces guys?
Yep, and said he would be his trophy.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, like we said with plot holes. There's a lot of plot holes.
Yeah, that was sloppy.
You know, and there's a lot of sloppiness that went into it. And if you go in here wanting more than just a have fun movie, sit back, relax, and enjoy it, you're not going to be happy.
You're going to be super irritated if you try to pay attention and pick at it.
Yeah, big time.
Just let it go and keep going with the movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure we could sit here and talk for another 20 minutes and pick this movie apart pretty well.
Yeah.
But we sat back and we enjoyed it. Our expectations were already low, and we were happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, let's spoil the ending on this thing.
Go ahead and dig
so
into that.
yeah. So they and we'll complain. I want to complain about it anyway. But so throughout the story, the plot is that humans have messed up the earth, and in 1 to 2 generations, we're all going to die from global warming anyway. And then the predators are going to move in because they strive in warm environments.
Yep.
So that was like the whole plot of this thing, and this
Which
predator was
How do they know where they came from?
exactly.
They don't know what planet they're coming from. Or
They don't. Their planet could be fine. Why would they need to leave? Like they have
How do they even
there's
know
no
it's
data
gonna-
behind it, like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, it falls apart pretty quickly. And so this rogue predator, this ultimate predator who turns out being like the hunter of other predators, he's bringing us a tool for humanity to save us. And you know, I wouldn't have been upset if they just didn't tell us what it was. To be honest, like I wouldn't have been upset if they didn't tell us what it was. After seeing what it was, I was like, I wish they just wouldn't have told us what it was.
Really?
Yeah, because
you would have hated the cliffhanger though.
For
how many ever years?
I would have hated the cliffhanger, but I would have hated the ending less than I would have hated a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like spoil the ending. So what was the gift that the predator came to give us?
So it was like in a huge casket for some reason.
It looked like a sarcophagus. Yeah.
It's a black casket. Like, okay, it's got a bunch of symbols on it, usual predator-looking stuff. And then it's got all this air coming out of it. It's all super sealed really tight. And there's this little tiny hole that pops out, and it's hella slimy. That was something that also threw me
weird,
off
yeah.
and unneeded. So
when it came out, we were like, is this going to be an alien?
Yeah.
Like, it looked like the goo. It looked like the goo that it would come from that, that the aliens,
Yeah, it's just like, what the hell?
Wasn't that?
And they're not sure. Everybody starts to freak out. And then one of the scientists gets close to it, and it jumps on his arm and takes his whole body over, and it puts him in this giant predator suit with the mask, the gun, the armor, everything, 100%. And then super overdoes it, locks out like 3 turrets over his head, on both sides of his shoulders, got a bunch of lasers for targeting, and they target everybody, all the scientists and everybody in the room. It's like, really? And then you bubbled Iron Man. Perfect.
It's the Predator Iron Man suit, dude.
Super cheesy. Didn't kill any of the scientists, and then just goes away all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell was that?
Yep. And then the Logan bad guy character that's the hero in this movie is like, that's gonna be my suit. I was like, oh shit.
Bad ending.
Yeah, like after seeing the ending, I was like, dude, if they would have just left the ending at a cliffhanger, I would have been happier than that ending. But the thing is, we wouldn't have known that ending, and we'd be like, God damn it, another cliffhanger on a shitty movie.
I'd have been pissed.
Like, yeah, I would have been upset too. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd rather be upset or sad, because the ending makes me sad.
It's kind of kind of a toss up.
It's like, whoa. The throwaway lines, man. We talked about that. We didn't mention that earlier.
That was
totally one of the Olivia Munn says, "You're an ugly motherfucker," and like she basically says it almost just like that, and it just doesn't land at all. Like when she said it, I was like, I had to wipe my face off.
Yeah,
And
Arnold
then-
says that when it first takes off his mask and presents itself, it's all slow. Remember with the hoses they pull off, it's all slow and dramatic.
Yeah, and he sells it.
And then Arnold just throws it at him, and he's completely right. Everybody's probably thinking the same thing when he says it. Olivia Munn just creeps up while it's sleeping on a table, and then that's when she says it. It's super cheesy.
Yeah, that was bad. And then
the other one's even better.
The other one, yeah, where I want to say it was like the bad guy. It was like the main bad guy that was with like the. Yeah. He says, "Get to the chopper,"
yeah, you're right.
And he's just like, "Oh, get to the chopper." And I was like, "Oh, what?"
There's like 10 motorcycles that he's referring to as choppers instead of an actual helicopter.
Wasn't great.
Dude,
wasn't
really
great.
Super once again sloppy and unneeded.
Just
you didn't
like
need to do that.
Yeah, you don't need to do it, and especially like Shane Black should have been like, "That didn't land." Yeah. Like, let's just cut that.
Yeah,
we don't need to put that in there.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know how that made it through post. Like, if I was editing that, I'd be like, "Hey, Shane, can you come look at this?" Like, I'm not feeling good about how Olivia Munn delivered that line. We might just want to cut that or have her come in and re-voice it. We can put the voice over it. Like, it just, man, damn. Yeah. With as much fun as I had watching the movie, it sucks that so much of it was like, oh, what's going on?
Disappointments.
Yeah. But hey, I mean,
the timing was off on those too.
Yeah, the timing wasn't good. Yeah.
There's no punch behind it. It's like they're just like forcing it so hard to say it.
Yep.
It's like it's a bad taste in your mouth.
Yep. But so that's that. That's what we have with The Predator. And like I say, even with the problems that the movie has, and it has problems, it has a lot of problems, I am not upset that we spent $10 to go see it in the movie theater. Yeah. And I will not be upset to go and spend $15 to $10 for the Blu-ray whenever it drops down to that price.
Yeah.
So, I think if you're a longtime Predator fan, like both of us are, it was really, really cool to see the technology. I think if you haven't seen the movies before and you just go and seeing this and you're younger, I think you would like this because it's because it's very Deadpool-y, it's very Guardians of the Galaxy, and like I like those movies, but it just doesn't jive with me to a Predator movie. But if you haven't seen a Predator movie before and you go in and you see this, you'll probably be like, "Fuck, this movie was really funny and it had action in it. And like that wasn't bad."
Yeah.
So I mean, there's pluses on either side and there's minuses on either side, but it's worth the $10.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yep, worth the $10. Yep.
I'm going to buy it when it comes out.
Yeah, you'll buy it when it comes out?
I think so.
Cool. If you buy it when it comes out, we'll watch it again when it comes out then, because I'll watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, I want to watch it again.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll pick up other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's little stuff we missed.
Probably. Well, we missed you. I missed you. And if you made it to the end, the music is starting and the outtakes are going to start rolling.
Oh, good Lord.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, share it on social media. 1,000 subs, $100, baby! Final Notice Media back at it again.
Boom. I didn't record.
Did you really? Okay. You didn't record? I was like, dude! Mom! Meatloaf!
Meatloaf!
Alright, so Shane Black, Olivia Munn, Keegan-Michael Key. Keegan-Michael Key is his whole name. And Boyd Holbrook. Holbrook?
Don't know much about
Logan guy, the bad guy from Logan. We'll figure it. Or if anything, we'll be like, hey, don't move. And Olivia Munn was also like, he didn't have any superpowers. He just had a mechanical hand.
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah, nothing special. Just a bunch of cyborgs. We're just a couple of dudes in a garage,
chilling,
hanging out. What I got? Purple drink all in my cup.
Laundry or something?
I've told you to get your laundry out of the dryer, you asshole! You say both of those, I'm taking one of them from you and being like, yeah, I agree.